Hello and welcome to GroupBy. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. By the end of this video, you'll be able to convert data that looks like this into a summary report like this by using a single formula. The GroupBy function is awesome. Let's head straight to Excel. Exercise 1. Let's say we have a bunch of data and we want to create a summary. Of course, this is Excel and there's many ways to do this. For example, we could use a pivot table, or we could just write a single formula that uses the GroupBy function. Check this out. Equals GroupBy. The first argument is row fields, and that's what we want to appear in our report rows. In this case, it's this product column. Comma. The next argument is values. That's the column of numbers we want to aggregate. Here, it's this sales column. Comma. The next argument is function. We're going to use sum, but depending on what you're working on, check out all these other options. Close function and enter. And just like that, with a single formula, we have a summary report. Now, there's a lot of cool function arguments. So let's go edit our formula. After these three required arguments, we have many optional arguments. The next one is called field headers. And our options are no, yes, but don't show, no, but generate, yes, and show. Currently, our ranges did not include any column labels. So we would say no, there are no headers. Enter. And then we would put in our headers manually, product and sales. So let me remove that. But what if our ranges did include the labels? Well, let's write this again. Equals GroupBy. For the row fields, I want this product column, including the column label. Comma, for values, I want the sales, including the column label. Comma, function is sum, comma. Okay, so field headers. Does our underlying ranges have headers? Yes. So we could choose not to show them. So that would be 1, close function, enter. That's fine. Or we can edit this and say yes and show them. So we'd use the number 3 here, close function and enter. So that's what this field headers argument is all about. Comma, the next one is total depth. So it's not like total depth, it's like total depth, right? So basically what it means is, what are we going to do with totals? Do we want grand totals? Do we want subtotals? Those type of options. So 0 would be no totals. That'd be fine. We could do 1 to display the grand total. That's fine. We could change this to grand totals and subtotals, and we get an error. Why? Because we don't have multiple row fields. We'll get to this in the next exercise. We can also show grand totals at the top. Close function and enter. And here we can see the totals at the top of the range. So the point is, this total depth argument gives us some control over our totals. Comma, then comes sort order. This is just the column number that we want to sort by. So we could do 1, and that would sort by the product column. We could do -1, which would sort descending by the product column. We could do 2 to sort by the sales column, and a -2 to sort descending by the sales column. So those are the basic function arguments. We also have another argument called filter array, and we'll get to that in the next exercise. We also have an argument called field relationship, and we'll get to that one in an upcoming exercise as well. But that's an overview of the GroupBy function. Let's go to the next exercise, exercise 2. Now here we've stored our data in a table, and the GroupBy function can easily work with table data. No worries. Equals GroupBy. Okay, now let's say we wanted to group this by region. So I'm going to select the region column, comma, the values is the sales column, comma, and the function I want is sum. Close function and enter. And now we get the total by region. If I wanted to see it by product, I could just change this first argument to product, enter. And now we see our summary grouped by product. What if we wanted to see it by region and within each region by product? Like, can we have multiple row fields? Sure. Let's go back and edit this. What we basically do is just select multiple columns. And now we can see this first argument includes the region through product columns. Enter. And now we can see this is by region and within each region by product. Cool. All right, now let's take a look at another argument. This one is called filter array. And this is basically an expression that should return a bunch of true-false values. And the rows are included when that expression is true. So take this as an example. Let's say we only wanted to include those rows where the region is equal to east, and we enclose east in quotes. Close function and enter. And that's how we can easily apply a filter to this GroupBy function. Now, one more thing. What if we wanted to switch the column order? In other words, what if the column order that's in our data is not the column order we want in our report? Like, can we change that? Sure, no problem. First of all, let's go in and remove this filter. Enter. Okay, fine. Now we want to swap these. So we want to see this report by product and then by region. So how can we do that? No worries. What we're going to do is we're going to replace this entire first argument with a function called CHOOSECOLS. And that stands for choose columns. And we can give it a range, like the whole entire table, comma, and then we can pick and choose which columns we want in what order. So we could say we want the second column first, that's going to be the product column, comma, and then the region column, that's going to be column 1. Close function. Before I hit enter, let's review. I'm asking the GROUPBY function to create a summary report, and I'm using the CHOOSECOLS function to provide those row fields. So it's going to go to this table, and it's going to return the product column first, that's column 2, and then the region column, that's column 1. And then it's going to do the sum of sales. Enter. And that's how we can switch or pick and choose which columns we want to display in the report, even if that's different than the order presented within the data source. Cool? All right, cool. Now we got one more cool thing to check out. Let's go to the next exercise, exercise 3. All right, here we want to view a summary report by region, by product, sum of sales. So let's get started. Equals group by. We want to see region product, comma. For the values, it's sales column, comma, and we want sum. Close function and enter. So far, so good. By default, this is sorting by region and within each region by product. What if we wanted to sort this by product? Well, what we can do is cruise back over here and we can go to our sort order argument. We've already covered that. And so we would just pick the column that we want to sort by. That's column 2 and enter. And nothing seems to change. So like, did I do something wrong? Let's cruise back over here and use a 1. Okay, that's sorting by region. And a 2 should sort by product, but it doesn't seem to be. And if you've used PivotTables before, this is the same type of vibe we're getting from PivotTables. Like, it always sorts by the first column, and then the second column is sorted, but within the first column's values. Now, with this GROUPBY function, we have a toggle here. So let's cruise over to this field relationship argument. 0 is hierarchy, and that's the default. And that's where it's sorting by region first and then by product, even though we've specified column 2 as our sort order. But there's another value here. It's called table, and we can use a 1 for that and enter. And now you can see it's treating it more like a table than our hierarchy, and it's actually giving us a sort by product. That's exactly what we wanted. Perfect. And we can still sort descending by changing this 2 to a -2. Enter. Perfect. Okay. And now I'm going to remove all of these excess arguments. Enter. Now, one more thing to talk about, which is formatting. Since this is a formula, it's dynamic, and it's going to update anytime the underlying cell values change. And that means if we wanted to apply some type of simple format, like even a top cell border, as soon as we add a new region, like north, this formatting doesn't keep up. But the good news is Excel's had a feature in Excel for decades that is more of a dynamic type of formatting. It's called conditional formatting. So can we use that here? Totally. First of all, let me delete this extra row. And let me come back up here and let me remove this formatting. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to select columns F, G, and H, and then we want to apply conditional formatting. Conditional formatting, new rule. Perfect. And we want to use a formula to determine which cells to format. Now basically I need to write a formula that returns a true or false value. If the formula returns true, then the defined formatting is applied. If it's false, then no formatting is applied. So our formula is going to be equals, does the value in F1 equal the word total? Now, let's take a look at this. Why did I use F1? Well, I used F1 because it's the active cell. So I need to set up this formula as if I'm writing it into this active cell. And when I hit enter, the relative and absolute cell references are honored, and that formatting formula is like filled throughout the range. It also means I need to be careful about using absolute and relative cell references. So I actually need a $sign in front of the F. And what this means is, for all of the cells in this range, I'm only looking at column F. Even if the formatting formula is filled down and across to like G and H, it's only going to look at column F. And I had to use the number 1 because that's the row of my active cell. And so this is going to be a relative reference. So as this formatting formula is filled down and right, that value is going to update accordingly. So it's basically saying, if the label in column F is equal to total, which it is right here, then what formatting do we want to apply to those cells? So we just pick format. I'm going to go with border. I'm going to pick a straight line, and I'm going to do a top cell border. You can pick any other formatting you want. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click OK. And now we've got it. And this is dynamic. So that means as I add a new region, North, Gadget, 100, the formatting is updated automatically. And what if we do another one? South, Widget, 200. That formatting is automatically updated. And if we wanted to change our format in column H, we could go with a number, no decimals, comma, click OK, and boom, we got it. That's how we can create these summary reports that are totally dynamic using a single formula with the GROUPBY function. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my Pivot Table for Beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a pivot table report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.